Mr. Kenneth Pasyente, PTV4, for our first question.
Ayun sir, good morning. Regarding po dito sa launching po ng Kanegosyo Center, sa tingin niyo po paano po ito makakatulong lalo na po doon sa mga negosyante po sa MSMEs?
Yun lagi talaga ang ating inaalala at binibigyan ng pansin ay yung mga MSMEs dahil napakarami nga at karamihan ng ating mga negosyo, lahat ng ating mga maliliit na tindahan, lahat ng other economic enterprises na very small scale, yun talaga ang buhay ng ekonomiya ng Pilipinas. At hindi lang, actually, habang nakikilala ko at nag-uusap kami ng mga iba't ibang leaders sa iba't ibang bansa, ganun din, lalo na sa Southeast Asia, ganun din ang sitwasyon. Talagang kailangan nilang alagaan. Kaya itong ganitong klaseng programa ay ginagawa lahat upang maging matagumpay ang kanilang sinisimulaan na bagong negosyo o ibinabalik yung sumara ng pandemya, paano natin pabalikin, pero pabalikin natin ng mas maganda na ginagamit yung internet, ginagamit lahat ng ano, at bibigyan pa rin, may counting tulong, may counting seed money, at ang pinakamahalaga sa lahat talaga ay yung training. Dahil kailangan natin turuan ang maliliit na negosyante kung paano humawak ng pera, kung paano mag-accounting, kung paano makipag-usap sa bangko, kung paano gumawa ng business plan. Yan ang ginagawa, yun ang pinakamahalaga at yan ang ginagawa ng mga programa kagaya ng Kanegosyo. Yan ang itutulong nila, yan ang pinakamalaking tulong na maibibigay nila. Hindi lamang yung seed money, kung tawagin, kung hindi yung training. Sa naranasan ko, sa pag-develop namin ng mga cooperative, ganun talaga. Siyempre mahalaga din na meron silang pagsisimulan, may hawak silang konting cash. Ngunit, kailangan kahit magkano ibigay mo yan, kung hindi nila alam i-manage yung kanilang negosyo, hindi rin mawawala din yan after a while. Kaya yung training ang pinaka-importante sa akin talaga.
Sir, kasabay po ng pagbangon po ng ekonomiya, sir, ano po siguro yung maipapayo nyo po sa mga negosyante, especially po yung mga nagsisimula pa lang, sir? Thank you.
Ganito, mag-training kayo. At marami naman programa, meron ng gobyerno. Meron tayong mga, yung sa DTI, tinuturuan natin, nagte-training tayo, hindi lamang training, nagbibigay pa tayo ng mga kit. Kung ano bang gusto nyo, maging air condition na repairman ka, may bibigay na compressor, may bibigay na kaunting gamit. O kung magpapagagawa ka ng magbe-baking ka, bibigyan ka ng pwedeng gagamitin para lutuin yung produkto. Lahat yun, ganun. So meron yan sa gobyerno. Ngunit, lagi kong sinasabi, kahit lahat ng gobyerno ay ginagawa yan, hindi magiging sapat. Kaya't kailangan, kahit lagi namin pinag-uusapan yung PPP. Dahil talagang yung mga private sector na gustong tumulong. At to let us give credit to the private sector. Kung minsan tinitingnan natin sila, wala na, nagpapayaman lang yan. I have to give credit to the private sector, to organizations like Cebuana Lhuillier, that they really have gone out. And this is... siguro ang iniisip lang nila kung paano matulungan yung mga maliliit. At siguro kapag pinagsabay natin yung ginagawa ng pamahala, ginagawa ng mga pribadong sektor, ayan, yun ang dapat sila, mag-avail sila doon sa mga ganong klaseng mga programa kahit papano. At huwag silang mahihina ng loob. Kung yung unang pinasukan nila, baka hindi masyadong magandang resulta. Sige lang, nandito pa kami, uulitin natin. Hanap tayo ng magiging maganda para sa inyo, yung magbabagay para sa inyo, na palalakihin ninyo.
Thank you, Mr. President. Ivan Marina of GMA 7.
Magandang umaga po, Mr. President. Sir, bukas po, mag-iisang taon na ang inyong administrasyon. How would you assess your administration's performance in the past year? At kung inyo pong mamarapatin, Mr. President, ano ho ang gradong ibibigay ninyo sa inyong sarili bilang Pangulo at gayon din sa inyong mga appointee in terms of delivering the promises you made during the campaign?
Well, the delivering of promises is is a work in progress. It's not something that you say, tapos na, I finished it. This is an ongoing process. Again, we have to bear in mind that the international situation has changed in terms of trade, in terms of geopolitics, and so we are having to adjust to that. And now it is very clear that the most successful economies are those who are agile and resilient. And that, I think, we have put in place the basic elements for us to do that. I saw a report earlier this morning where one of the economists said, the grade that I will give the president for agriculture is incomplete. I agree with him. We are not yet done. Ang dami pa natin gagawin. There are many, many things that we still need to do. We have to undo 30, 35, almost 40 years of neglect when it comes to the agricultural sector. And the agricultural sector still occupies the most fundamental part of our economy. And so, yes, we have done a lot of work. I think we have seen many of the changes. We are beginning to see the systemic changes that are going to be part of the new bureaucracy. But there's still a long way to go. We continue to work on the economy to make sure that our basics, our macroeconomic basics are in place. We're still fighting with inflation. Talagang yan, isa pa rin yan ang pinakamalaking problema na hinaharap natin. At lahat ng ating maaaring gawin ay ginagawa natin para hindi masyadong nahirapan ng taong bayan. So, I think we will be concluding the negotiations, the tripartite negotiations on the wage board. So, meron tayong makikita na para makatulong naman tayo doon sa mga mas maliliit at nangangailangan ng tulong. So, it's never enough. It's never enough. Whatever it is that we have managed to do, there is still a great deal more to do. We have a lot of work still to do, and we have to work smart, and we have to work well, and we have to be very conscious. We should not be insular and think that it is only the Philippines that exists in the world. Tignan natin, what is our true place in the world? So that is it's not a small thing, it's something that we are redefining. The world looks at the Philippines in a different way now than it did 1 year ago. You go anywhere now and the Philippines is always recognized. They say that if you are planning to invest in ASEAN, then you must have a plan of your investment in the Philippines. Otherwise it is not going to be a good plan. So that is now the place that we occupy. The job ahead of us is to make those structural changes that we have instituted, make them work now. And so that we can see the results, not only in terms of statistics from the PSA, but in the lives of ordinary people.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. Ms. Catherine Valiente, Manila Times.
Yes, good morning, Mr. President.
Good afternoon.
Good morning. Yes, sir. Sir, will you accept the request of the United States to allow daw po yung mga Afghan refugees in the country? Some groups and lawmakers have expressed concern that these refugees might be a risk to our national security. So what's your take on this, sir?
Well, there are many issues involved in that question. That's why I was a little surprised when I saw some of the news reports. There is a deal between the U.S. There's no deal. We're still looking exactly at how to make it work if we can. It's entirely possible that we will not find a way to make it happen. But we have a long tradition in the Philippines of taking in refugees, although these are not refugees. They're an entirely different class of person. They are Afghan nationals who are being resettled by the United States in the United States and or other places. We are only going to be a transition area. Dadalhin sila dito, i-relocate sila, Pagka ang sabi ng mga kaibigan natin ng Amerikano, nila, hindi palalampasin ng 1,000 tao doon sa ating kung sakali man ay matutuloy itong request na ito. So, but there are security issues. Of course, we have to be conscious of that. But there are even more difficult legal and logistical issues, because if the plan as it stands runs exactly as it's planned, di maganda, wala tayong problema. But what plan ever ran exactly as you had hoped? So what we're trying to say, what if something goes wrong? Paano kung magka-delay? Paano kung hindi tanggapin yung tao? Yun yung aming pinag-uusapan. And we'll continue because we want to help. We want to help. Ito kasi ang mga Afghan na tumulong sa mga Amerikano nung gera. Tapos biglang umalis ang mga Amerikano, naiwan ito. Ang katotohanan, pinapatay talaga sila ng kalaban. Kaya yun so inaalalayan nila yung mga Pero hindi nga sila refugee. Iba nga ito eh. This is something different. It's not something that we've encountered before. They are Afghans who are being resettled primarily in the United States. And we are going to be the third country. That is the proposal of the Americans. We'll continue to study it and see if there's a way we can do it without endangering the security of the Philippines. We'll see if we can actually manage it and to make sure that if things start to go not as planned, ano yung mga pwede natin gawin para naman hindi, before you know it, 10,000 na sila doon, ang dami nang natin kailangan gawin. Kahit sinasabi that the Americans will pay for everything, who will handle all of that? The Filipino. There's even anything. So there's still quite a few issues that we have to hammer out with the Americans. In principle, we'd like to help. We took in the Vietnam boat people. We took in the German Jews during the war. Ganyan naman ang ugali ng Pilipino eh. Matulungin tayo. But again, we have to make sure that it's not something that will affect the lives of ordinary Filipinos.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Malacañang Press Corps.
Thank you. Magandang umaga sa inyo. Thank you.